Hey everybody, welcome to Do You Believe? Normally it's Paranormal Zone TV, but we are on another channel tonight and we will talk after the show. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I'm so glad you found me. And tonight, we have a really great guest and a great topic. I have Terese Rutjens, who is the author of Stalked by a Demon. And I know all of you as well are anxious to hear her story. So let's all welcome Tess. Hey Tess, thanks for joining us tonight.
Oh, thank you, Norene. Pleasure.
Oh, thanks so much. Now, do you, you don't have much about the about on your book. So, and I did read a little bit about it. So I want you to tell all the viewers. Let's start from the beginning, your story, okay?
Okay. Well, my story kind of begins when I was just a child. I don't know if you would call me sensitive or what the word is really for it, but I always felt, like I could see and hear and feel things that other people couldn't. Little kids are afraid of the dark a lot of times. I actually thought I could see things in the shadows and in the closet and standing in my bedroom doorway, and I'd point them out to my little sister. Well, she never admitted she saw anything, so I just thought I was imagining it. But I knew I heard people whispering when there was no one around, and, just different things. Could always feel like someone was there watching me or listening or just being around. And one time when I was about 8 years old, I think was my first memory of something specific. My grandparents, my mother's parents, lived out in the Sandhills, west of O'Neill. And we used to go there and visit a lot. And when I was about 8, I was allowed to go and stay for a week or so. And I had some really frightening things happen to me there on that old farm.
What happened?
Well, I woke up in the middle of the night. I don't know if it was a noise that startled me or what, but I woke up and I could see someone standing in the corner of the bedroom looking at me, and it was too big, to be a person. It was just big and dark, but his eyes glowed. They weren't red, they were just white, they glowed. And I asked, who's there? But of course nobody answered me. And being a little kid, I just got under the covers and cried, hoping it would go away. And that happened several times. And whispering, people whispering to me, whispering my name, especially when I was upstairs at the old farm, by myself. And I know one time something whispered my name really close, and it scared me, and I went tearing for the stairs to go downstairs, and they were very steep, wooden, slick stairs, so we were trained to be careful. And I was there about ready to go down, it pushed me, and I went head over heels all the way down the stairs.
Oh.
After that, I didn't play up there anymore. I told my grandma about it, and that's kind of when she taught me what to say if I ever thought that there was a ghost or whatever around me. She said to ask Jesus, command in the name of Jesus for whatever to get away from me. And which makes me wonder, if she didn't know something was going on also.
Did she ever have any paranormal experiences?
If she did, she didn't ever tell me. But it just makes me wonder now. It didn't make me wonder then. I was just little, But why would she say that if she didn't think there was something to it? I don't know. It's just a question I asked myself when I was writing the book.
When you would go to the farm, there were things happening, but did you ever see her involved with anything happening to her? And did she say anything?
No, she didn't. But she didn't act like I was lying either or making anything up. She believed me when I told her something was going on and something scared me. But she didn't verify it with saying, yeah, I know it's happened to me too, or I never saw anything like that. She was a very devout Catholic. And so she prayed, for a lot of things. So maybe that's why she told me to say that and to say the Lord's Prayer over and over until I felt better. And that's kind of what I did then as a child.
So when you were praying, did you feel a lot better, and did whatever was bothering you leave you alone?
Yes, it did.
So how many times was that happening to you?
Oh, it happened quite often. When I was between 8 and 10, a lot of things would happen. I kind of just ignored them. It was nothing, that had really physically hurt me yet, except for when I felt I was pushed. After that incident, nothing ever really touched me or anything like that. And so I kind of forgot about it. I didn't go out there and stay at that farm by myself anymore. My older brother would go if I went too, and I just didn't play upstairs alone. And it seemed like, I was pretty much okay.
Did you...
I put out a Ouija board,
Why did you get out the Ouija board?
Well, and I didn't want to, and I didn't have one myself. My mother wouldn't let us have one. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
And one Saturday, a friend of mine, we kind of grew up in the same neighborhood, and she said, we could play with the Ouija board. And I said, I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I've never done that before, and my mom won't let me, something to that effect. And of course, being about 11 years old, she called me a chicken. Well, you can't be a chicken. So I said, all right. And so we went to her house and got it. But then we took it back up to my house because her brothers were at her house and we wanted privacy and quiet. So took it back up to my house and messed around with it in the basement.
Now, and this was the first time. Had she used the Ouija board before, your friend?
Well, she must have. It was so long ago, I don't really remember, but she must have. She had one and she knew how to do it. She knew what she was supposed to do. So she must have messed with it previously.
Oh my gosh! Did she ever tell you anything about being visited by ghosts or anything happening in her home?
No, she didn't. And that's probably why I did it. And that's another reason why I think maybe I'm a little more sensitive than your average person as far as being able to pick up on things. Because she had it, she had done it before, and she didn't act like anything had ever happened to her. So I thought it was okay. I thought I was safe. We were kids. We didn't know any better. Especially back then, you didn't hear things about it like you do now.
So you guys got the Ouija board, you went into the basement, and then what did you do? How did you start using the board? Did you actually have the planchette as well?
Pardon me?
Did you have the planchette that went with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had the planchette that went with it, and she got it all set up. There was like a coffee table, downstairs in front of a couch. When she set it up on the coffee table, and she sat on one side and I sat on the other, and we were kind of sitting Indian style. And she got all ready to use it. She told me what I was supposed to do. And, she said, I hate saying the words even now. She said something to the effect about spirits and come talk to us. I don't want to say the exact words because I don't want it to happen. And personally, I don't think you have to have a board to make it happen. I think anytime you ask for something, it's going to come. And I have learned that nothing good ever talks to you through one of those things or any other device. Mm-hmm. That there's nothing good that's going to come of it.
Have you ever used any other devices, Tess?
No, I have not. But I have seen and heard, like on the internet or TV shows, where kids do stuff, and this recent thing with silverware or something. I don't know what it is, but it's like I don't know that it has to be an actual board. I think it could be any device you use to summon anything.
Okay, so when you were in the basement using this Ouija board, what started happening? Were you getting responses?
Pardon me?
Were you getting responses?
No, not on the planchette. Immediately after she said that, we started smelling something really vile, just awful, and smoke. We couldn't see any fire anywhere, but we could smell smoke, like there was a fire somewhere, like somebody lit a book of matches
Sulfur.
and then blew it out. That's kind of what it smelled like. And then we heard this loud screeching, or at least I did. Heard this loud screeching and then a real deep growl. And I kind of looked around, and from behind Rhonda, I saw this big, cloud of dark smoke, and it swirled a little, and then it kind of morphed into almost human shape. And then that's when I saw the red glowing spots that I take as eyes. And I think Rhonda, saw that I was looking at something, and she turned around, and she immediately jumped up and screamed, run, run. We jumped up, and the table flipped on its side, and the board went flying, and we just headed out the backyard and just ran clear probably a block away, and hid out by some trees in one of our neighbors' backyard. It was just so terrifying. Just can almost feel it, just thinking about it now, and that was, 44 years ago.
What happened to the board?
We eventually had to go back in and get it, of course. We had decided, we talked about it, and we decided that we had to get the board out of there because I couldn't let my mother see that we had it in the house. And we didn't want anything more to do with it, but it was her board, and I told her she had to get it out of my house. And being her friend, of course, I helped her, and we decided we'd bury it. And we took it back to her house, and we buried it in her backyard, and we never talked about it again between the two of us. We never told anyone that it ever happened, or at least we agreed not to, and I didn't. As far as I know, she didn't either. And we just tried to go on, and like nothing happened.
So she never talked to you about that board, or what about anything that had happened to her after this happened? Any experiences, any dreams, any visions?
She never said that she did. I didn't ask her, though, and I didn't ever tell her about it. Now, if we did, which is very possible we could have because we were just kids, but I don't remember. So if we did, I must have blocked it out because I don't remember that anything between the two of us was ever talked about again. And being only 11, I can't believe that actually happened, but I do not remember any conversation that her and I had about it after that day.
Wow, that's really interesting that you'd never talk about it again.
I know, it is, isn't it? Especially being little kids. And like I said, if we did, I don't remember. I don't remember if we did or what we said about it. It could just be me blocking it out. So
this was done in your home in the basement. What happened? Okay, so after this incident, did you get any? Were you starting to get nightmares? Were you getting more visions? Were you getting contact by anything?
I don't think so. And if I did, I don't remember it. I really don't remember a lot of the years in between there now. Like I said, possibly I have blocked it out, or maybe I prayed a lot and it just didn't happen anymore. I think I still saw and heard things like I always did, but I had learned to tone them out. block them out, pray my way out of it. And I just don't remember a whole lot until I was 14. And then when I was 14, I had something else happen in that basement. And I think it was probably the same entity, but I don't know that for sure because I of course, never talked to it or interacted with it in any way.
Did you ever talk to a priest about what had happened?
Not until I was much older. I didn't talk to a priest about any of this until, it would have been, 2005, 2006, I think.
All right, so then when you were 14, what was going on when you were 14?
I think everything was felt pretty regular, normal in my life. I stayed home from school that day. I had a headache, and both my parents worked, and so I was the only one in the house. I remember I took a nap, and when I got up, I felt a little better. I thought I would do some laundry, so I gathered my dirty clothes, and I went downstairs to do the laundry. And I was standing there facing the washer and dryer, which is against the wall, and all of a sudden I looked up and I saw a shadow on the brick wall in front of me. It was like cement blocks. But it wasn't like a regular person shadow. It was way too big, and it wasn't defined like a person, but it still had like a shape of a person. And it scared me so bad. I think I just kind of stood there, unable to do anything. And then all of a sudden, a mason jar we had on a table downstairs with some plastic flowers, kind of like they did back in the 70s.
Yeah.
It fell off this table and crashed, broke into a million pieces, and of course that scared the holy wits out of me. And I just kind of froze there and couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I don't even know if I was breathing. And then, all of a sudden I turned and I ran up the stairs and shut the doors behind me and ran into my room and shut that door and crying and started praying. Nothing came through the door. I was always afraid something was going to come through the door after me, but nothing happened then after that. It just kind of stopped there.
The viewers want to know what area, where were you living at that time?
I live in northeast Nebraska, and we were living on the north end of town. It was a very nice area. I'm not going to say affluent, middle class, on the north end of a medium-sized town. Norfolk, Nebraska is about 2 hours north of Omaha. Just a quiet, country town. Mm-hmm. And that's where I live.
Okay, so then, moving forward in your years, what else started happening to you?
I don't remember, anything too terrifying happening then for quite a while. I got married very young. I was 17, almost 18, but I was only 17. I had dated, he was my first serious boyfriend, and, as things happen, I ended up pregnant, and we got married. We moved to a nice house, outside in the country a little bit. I don't remember that I had anything really scary happen there. But I did see we called her old grandma. She was my great grandma. I saw her sitting on the couch one morning, and I said, "Oh, grandma," and about that fast she disappeared.
Oh, so she had passed on. She had already been. So you were seeing a ghost.
Yes, I did. He was a ghost. Yeah, absolutely. And I could smell her smell, which was like rose perfume or some kind of flowery smell. And I smelled that. That didn't even make it in the book because, a lot of stuff was cut out of the book because I don't think it seemed probably to go with the main story. But I had little things like that happen to me quite often. Pretty much all my life. Some stuff scary, some stuff not scary.
So how did you see your grandmother again after that?
No, that was the only time I saw her. I talked to my mom about it, and she said, well, she thinks that old grandma was just there to check up on me and make sure I was all right to see the baby. That was her answer.
Now, during this time, after you had done the Ouija board, did you feel any different? Did you feel that maybe your personality had changed? Do you know any? Okay, well, first answer that one. Do you think that your personality had changed?
Oh, I think I was a little more reserved. I think I was more cautious of my surroundings and of people. I don't think I was quite as innocent, maybe, as a lot of girls were at that age. I felt like maybe I knew more of what was really going on than a lot of people. And I couldn't tell anybody, especially back then. They would have thought I was crazy or making it up. Nowadays, paranormal stuff is talked about.
Oh, yeah.
On TV, and they do movies,
Oh, yeah.
and you have this show and there's books. Back in the 70s, they just didn't do that. It's like the UFOs, you just don't tell. You got to keep it to yourself and no one notices.
Yeah. What about dreams? Usually somebody that's been involved in something like what you have would get nightmares or dreams. Did you have any of those as well, unusual dreams?
Yes, I did. I had a dream. And, I never even thought about it till right now when you say that. I knew I had this recurring dream always when I was young, but I didn't put it together as maybe having anything to do with that Ouija board or being paranormal. I thought it was a nightmare. But now that you say that, that very well could have been. But I had this dream that I was being chased, and it was the same dream every time, and I was being chased, and I was running.
Do you remember where we left off? Anybody remember where we left off?
Yeah, we were talking about a recurring dream where someone was chasing me.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, when I was a kid, I remember that dream, and I don't know if you heard this before or not, but I didn't even consider that paranormal really until you just said that. But I'll bet it was. I'll bet it had something to do with that Ouija board. Did you lose me again?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I would go to sleep, and it's like somebody was chasing me, and I'd be running and running and running, and I'd see this house, this white house, and the house was the same every single time, and I'd run up the stairs to this house and swing the door open, hoping someone would help me on the other side. When I opened the door, that's who it was that was chasing me. But I never saw who it was. And then I'd wake up, and that was it. And that went for years and years and years when I was a child. Hello?
Wow. Oh, yeah, no, I'm listening to you. I'm taking this all in.
Okay.
Were you, you poor thing, were you scared?
Yes, I was scared. I remember telling my mother about it, that I was being chased. And I remember telling her that and she reminded me of this later while I was writing the book, that I used to tell her I thought the devil was after me. And she'd say, why do you think that? And I'd say, things that are happening. But, and she said that she would try to press me for information, and I wouldn't tell her anymore. I'd just shut down. And I kind of had forgotten about that until she told me that I used to say that.
Oh, my God.
And, yeah.
You know what? Did you ever think about getting hypnotized to find out what...
Yes, I have thought about that, but it scares the crap out of me. I don't know if I want to do it. I'm free now. I'm kind of rid of it all. And it's like I try to live a very low, quiet, small life, so not to bring attention. And, even writing the book and thinking about it and bringing that stuff back up again kind of made the paranormal stuff around me increase for a while. And it took me 7 years from the time that I found a little bit of peace to even talk about it and to write the book. And then that year I took to write it, things started picking up again simply because I was talking about it and thinking about it and writing about it and researching things that I'm very skittish about trying to investigate further, if you know what I mean.
Oh, really? Have you ever thought? Okay, so this was in your teen years now. So let's move forward now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you you started writing the book. Why did you write this book then?
After my first marriage, we married so young. We had the baby right away. We were too young. The marriage didn't last very long, and I, after a while, met someone else who was older, more established, and I thought more responsible, and I moved in with him, and we eventually got married and had more children. But after moving in with him, I moved in. It was a farm way out in the country, miles away from the very small town, still in Nebraska. I started having a very terrifying dream, and it was a sexual assault nightmare that I was being sexually assaulted night after night after night, and that just terrorized me for years, and the evilness around it, the evil feeling that happened, during this, and even before the dream would start, this noise kind of would come and go and pound in my head, and then I'd have this terrifying sexual assault that I just felt like I was being raped by the devil, constantly,
God.
And it just terrified me.
But why didn't you go seek some help? Why didn't you go talk to somebody or a priest?
I was so afraid they would lock me in the nut house, Norene. Like I said, we're talking in the 80s. Can you imagine somebody saying that? They'd have put me out the funny farm in about 2 seconds.
Oh, my God. You poor thing. Oh,
seriously, I was terrified that people would think I was crazy, and I wasn't even sure myself at that point if I wasn't crazy. And as far as I knew, they were just dreams. They were nightmares. I told my husband about it, and he just said, well, they're just nightmares. They're just dreams. They can't hurt you. And so that's kind of the way I lived. Afraid to go to sleep, but, you have to sleep. And I thought it was just dreams. I didn't think anything really horrible was happening to me, and I'd be all right. I'd wake up and I'd be all right, and I'd go on with life. And that's kind of what I did. It's dramatic, because whether it actually happened or not, you feel like it happened. So the trauma is still there.
Oh my
God. It was horrible existence for years. I suffered with that.
And this was a reoccurring dream every single night?
Well, not every night. A lot of times. First it would start out like once or twice a month. Then it would happen a little more frequently. And then it would happen like 2 or 3 times a week. And then it would go away for a while. It's like every time I felt like, oh my goodness, I'm at my wit's end. I don't know what to do. Is life worth living? Then it would quit for a while. And I think, oh, okay, well, they're gone. Well, then it would slowly start in again. But it was so hit and miss, that, I don't know, I just didn't put it together. And I wonder now in my life, and even when I was writing the book, why I didn't put it together. Why didn't I see the pattern? Why didn't I think, okay, this is what it is, and this is what I have to do to cure it? I didn't see it. I didn't put it together. That any one thing had anything to do with anything else.
Now, you named the book Stalked by a Demon, but do you really believe that it was a demon you were in contact, or just a negative spirit?
I truly, honestly, in my soul, believe it was a demon. I do. I've had my friends ask me that too. They said, you think you were attacked by a demon? You were harassed and stalked by a demon? I say, yes, I do. Yes, I absolutely do.
But this demon never showed himself to you?
No, not just in my dreams. So whether it was real and I wasn't really dreaming, I was just in some kind of a trance, which is very possible. I did see the black figure with the red eyes. I smelled it. I smelled the smoke. I smelled the burning, rotten flesh. I smelled the sulfur, all of it. But it was always in a so-called dream. I would wake up and maybe, the smells would linger a little bit, or I thought I'd smell smoke or something. I never saw anything face-to-face when I was wide awake. And I think that's how it got away with it for so long.
Do you think you ever had an attachment?
I think I did. Yes, I absolutely think I did. I was talking, and several times in the book, I would say, I'd ask myself, how bad am I? How horrible of a person must I be? What terrible thing did I do in my life that I deserve this? That I deserve to be tortured and harassed and have this demon after me? And that's what I thought. I thought that's what was happening to me, and that's why it was happening to me. And just recently, I have talked with one of the nuns here in the monastery here in town, and she read my book, and she said, the devil isn't after the bad ones. He already has the bad ones. The devil sends his minions, his demons, and him himself after the ones that are somehow special, or maybe are going to do something good, or maybe God shines his light on me for some purpose or some reason. I don't know anything I've done exceptionally good either that would cause that to be. But that's why. That's who they come after. The bad ones they already have. So she says I shouldn't worry and I shouldn't think that I did something horrible to deserve it, because I probably most likely did not. I deserve it because they want me for some reason. I don't know.
Did she ever give you any recommendations? She never asked you to talk to a priest?
Yeah, she did. Before she read the whole book, when she just read the first part of it, she had called me concerned, and she thought maybe that I needed an exorcism. And I told her to read the whole book, and if she, from beginning to end, and if she still felt that way, that I would absolutely be willing to do that. I would have no problem with that. But when she read the whole book, and I don't want to give it away, I don't want to, spoil the ending. There are a lot of people probably want to read it. I don't want to tell you exactly how it happened. I am free of it. I found relief. God gave it to me. God saved me. Jesus saved me. The Archangel Michael saved me. And they saved me every day and every night. Every day. They saved me over and over and over every day.
So you did the cleansing yourself. You rid yourself of this demon.
I did. I did the cleansing. Now, whether or not that did it or the praying did it, and I didn't just pray like I did when I was little. I did a precise prayer from the Bible. I followed a ritual, and I used the sage also. Now, whether it was the two together or whether it was one or the other, I don't know. I did the two together, and it worked. But I didn't just stop there. I pray every day. I pray every night before I get in bed. To be safe and to be saved and have the angels surround me, and save me and protect me. And it worked. So far, so good. I don't want to jinx it by any means by acting like I'm wise. I'm going to knock on some wood here. But it worked, and it has worked, and it continues to work as long as I continue to be faithful to that.
And that you believe it.
And I believe it, absolutely. But not believing that it was actually a demon after me didn't stop it. I can't say, I don't believe in that stuff, and it stopped. I said I don't believe in that stuff all I wanted to, and it kept happening. So I don't think it's all in belief. I think it can happen whether you believe it or not.
So
I am a true believer in good, and I'm a true believer in bad. And if there's one, there's the other. And I've seen them both. So
when you were, did you work? Were you working at that time?
Yeah, I worked. I went to college. I didn't work when I was really, and had the kids when they were little. A few part-time jobs here and there, clerk at JCPenney's, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
After the kids were a little bit, my first two were a little bit older, and I just had the baby, I went to nursing school. And I worked really hard at that. And I worked as a nurse then for years and years. So I did work, yes. I worked full time. And
so this, whatever it was, did not affect you in your daily life, only when you went to sleep?
Yes. Yes, for years. Mm-hmm. I'd hear things and see things and smell things, or not really see things, just feel like something was watching me, but I'd turn, and nothing was there. A lot of people, you could feel when something's around or someone's watching you. I never really caught a glimpse of anybody. But I'd hear things. I'd say, knock it off, leave me alone. Sometimes it would, sometimes it wouldn't. Never when I left the house, though. As long as I wasn't at the house, everything seemed to be okay. So I was all right at work and that. I don't know how I did it, Norene. I don't know how I lived all those years the way I did.
I know. I can't imagine. How were you feeling? How were you feeling on a daily basis? How did you feel when you got up in the morning, and how did your day go? And then the dread of going to sleep at night. That must have been horrible.
It was horrible. My day, I get up in the morning and thank God I was alive, and thank God it was just a dream, and thank God it didn't really happen. And it didn't go on the whole night. It was relatively quick. It would happen, and then it would go away, and that was that. Sometimes it felt like it lingered all night. Other times it was very quick. It seemed like the less I fought, the faster it went. And so it's not like I wasn't getting any sleep. I was sleeping, as much as any young mother with little kids sleeps. So I was just glad that I was alive and okay in the morning. And I just got up and did my routine, and, somebody said to me not too long ago, "Oh my God, how did you do it?" And I said, I didn't have a choice. Nobody gave me a choice. They didn't say, "Okay, do you want to have a nightmare tonight where you're like raped by the devil, or would you rather just sleep?" I didn't get a choice. It's what happened. It's what my life was, and I had to deal with it the best I could and try and make the best I could out of the life I had. And that was my choice.
Were you ever fearful for your children?
Yes, I was, and that was one of the main reasons I left that farm. The girls were getting older. I was afraid. I really was. I was, especially my oldest daughter, who was 7 years older than the others, and she was becoming a young woman. I was afraid. I asked her constantly if she was having nightmares or if anything was bothering her, or, were you ever afraid here? And no, she said no. Everything's fine. Nothing ever happened. But then I just started noticing more and more happening during the day when I was home on my days off, and finally I couldn't take it anymore, and I thought if I left that farm, I would be fine. It would never happen again. That's where it happened, and it will end there.
What was happening? What was happening during the day when you were home?
Oh, noises. I would hear knocking, like on the walls, from like inside the wall, behind the wall. I'd hear knocking. First I thought it was mice or something, but it was too loud, too distinct. I'd smell the awful rotten smells. I'd go hunting for them, and I never could find them. I'd hear visiting, talking, like a group of people talking. Not clearly enough so I knew what they were saying, but I definitely could hear a conversation going on. Different things like that. Nothing ever attacked me during the day, but I knew something was going on. Something was there. Something was there in that house. And I wanted out, and I left.
Well, do you think
I took the kids and I left.
Well, do you think it was possible, but the farm that you were on was haunted?
Pardon me? I didn't hear you.
Oh, did you think that possibly the farm that you guys were at may have been haunted?
Yes, I thought that. In fact, I even teased Rich, my husband at the time, about it being it's haunted. And he said no. You know, he gave me the most stupid excuse I've ever heard in my entire life. He said, "Oh, that's just all the sound waves from the day bouncing off the walls."
Right.
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 And I said, "Oh, okay, gee, I never heard of that before." You know, but he was one of those guys that knew everything about everything, and you know what I mean, one of those types.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just kind of let it go at that, and I never said any more about it.
Oh my God. And then so one day you just decided to write this book.
Yes.
To tell everybody your story.
Yes, I did. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just wondering. You say, I know you have an ending to this story. Is there advice or anything that you do tell the readers if something like this should happen to them?
There's a lot of theories out there about what gets rid of ghosts, demons, entities, whatever you want to call them. And I'm not going to say that any of those don't work. All I can say is what worked for me. Everybody has their own beliefs, their own religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs or whatever. What worked for me was Jesus, God, Michael. My personal, I was raised Catholic, I'm a strict Catholic, my personal belief is the only way to the Father is through the Son, and so that's why I include Jesus. However, I do talk to God too. And I pray, I pray for them to help me, please, and the angels, and, please help me. And they do. They do. That's all I can say. Mm-hmm. If something horrible happens to you, don't wait 27, 30 years. Pray.
Well, I think today there is help for people, and it is spoken a lot. It's not something that somebody will say you're crazy today. There's so much out there about the paranormal. And there are people today that can help someone like you. If I'm thinking, would you still be up to be having a cleansing or an exorcism or whatever it is? I can get you in touch with someone that can help you, or even if you would want to talk about it to someone else in the field.
Yeah. I have. I did go on the internet, and I did find the TAPS people, the Atlantic Paranormal Society. TAPS are the ones that have the Ghost Hunter show.
Yeah.
That website is the one that initially helped me. The people on there helped me. They believed me. They didn't think I was crazy. Maybe they did, but they didn't act like it to me. And, I got a lot of help from those people. And I also got in touch with, a ghost hunter, investigative people in my area. Mm-hmm. The Prism people. And that gal lived in my town. In fact, she lived one street over from me, and she came over and she listened to me, and she believed me, and she helped me a lot. And, the people on the Ghost Hunter website, the TAP website, helped me a lot. And that's kind of what gave me the strength to even try to make it stop. Mm-hmm. To do the sage cleansing, to do, to pray, to ask God to help me. Before I always thought, who am I? You can ask for help, don't mean you're going to get it. Yes, I believe in God, but I'm just a little person that's not going to do anything for me. And so I thought it was basically useless. Well, it's not. Every little person counts, and they didn't ignore me when I needed them the most. They were there, and they saved me. And I can't stress it enough, how much I believe in God and Jesus and the angels and the devil. And I don't know. It's almost like I'm speechless because I can't express it enough how important it is.
And when did you finish writing the book?
I finished writing the book back in March, April is when I thought I was finished. In 2014, I started sending queries out to agents, of which I got really no good responses at all. But I was very impatient, and so I stopped sending to them, and I just bought a book that tells the publishers the names of them that will actually talk to you, because a lot of the bigger, more popular ones won't talk to you. They won't read your stuff. You have to have an agent. And being, an older person that I'm not new for a career or anything like that, first-time author, never heard of. To get a publisher, you kind of have to start with the small ones. And so I did. I sent out, a few of those, and I got immediate responses from several of them. And I think the first one that responded positively to me was the one I ended up actually signing the contract with. And they helped me a lot to revise it and make it so it was something that people would want to read. You're not just born an author. You have to say things in a certain way to keep people interested. And I had the story. I had the words. I kept them interested. But still, you had to do it in the right way. And they really worked with me to make it a decent book. And then they sent the contract. And it was like 4 months after I first talked to them. So it was really fast.
Wow.
Really fast. And then 5 months after that, it was released. So I didn't go years waiting to be published like a lot of people do.
Yeah. Your book sounds absolutely awesome. It sounds like a fabulous read, and I know that you're not telling everything, and it would be in that book. So your book,
yes.
You guys, her book sounds absolutely fascinating. Do you want to tell us any more on your story, and you're doing okay today?
I am doing great today. Yes, I am. And I went about a year. Before it finally ended, and I thought, okay, I prayed, I did this age, and I am good. And I just kind of went about my sassy self, and it came right back after me. So it's like it was just sitting there waiting for me to get lax, So now I'm not. I'm very, very aware of everything, and very careful, and very strict, and strong. And it doesn't get me anymore. And
no, but you know what, Tess? It could be just waiting. It could
just
be
sure
waiting.
It is just waiting. Yes.
I'm gonna send you a message on Facebook, and I'm gonna give you a name of someone that I'd really like you to talk to him. Please.
Okay. I will.
I really these things just don't stop all the time.
No.
And I have talked to this. He's kind of well known, and we've talked about things like this before. But I really believe that you need more help, and
okay.
And I will send you that name. And he's available at any time. He even posts his phone number on his Facebook page for you to call, and I will get that for you.
Okay, that would be great. I am working on another book too. To follow up as to what happened to me after that book. Because, like I said, when I started writing that book and talking about it and thinking about things did pick up. So, no, it is not over, and I have to be very diligent. Like you said, it's probably just waiting, and I think it probably is. I don't think I'll ever have total peace. So, yes, I'd very much like to talk to this person.
Okay. Can you tell us any more? Now, you shouldn't have told me that, because now I want to know. Tess, you shouldn't have done that. Tell me. Come on. You didn't write your book yet, so come on, tell us. Nobody will remember. Tell me.
Tell you what?
Come on, tell us more. What's going on? Oh, come on, come
no,
on.
just more of the same kind of. It's just that now I'm meaner. Now I'm more aware. Now I'm stronger, and now I can say, "Get, you know what, away from me, and get out of here, and you don't scare me." And yeah, I think it is. It's just waits there in the shadows for me to be lazy and me not to pay attention.
I told you.
And,
there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you still? Did your dreams come back?
No. No,
Oh,
my
okay.
dreams did not come back. That doesn't say that it doesn't try, though. I always had a warning, and I say that right at the beginning of the book, in the chapter called Devil Dreams, when it started. I got a warning. It made a noise, like a hum that would come in waves, kind of like that. It's hard to write in words, you know, what it actually sounded like, which would immediately put me to sleep and render me helpless. And then that's when it would attack. So was I really asleep? I don't know. Was I asleep or was I in some kind of hypnotic trance? I don't know for sure. But every once in a while I'll get that will like swoop over me really fast and loud. And I immediately have to spring into action, you know, to get it so it doesn't go any further. Yeah, so even though I'm at peace and I'm happy, it's not like your everyday, you know, little girl prancing around. I am shocked.
Oh, man. Well, you definitely need to talk to somebody.
Yeah, I would like to know, and I probably won't know until I leave this realm and go to the next. What the hell does this thing want with me? You know, why is it so insistent on tormenting me? That's what I want to know.
So it's still, but it doesn't appear. Are you still getting those smells?
Once in a while, I'll smell something burning, like something's burning, and I'm not the only one. My son, who rents an area of the house from me, he'll smell it. He'll say, "Mom, what's burning? Is something on fire?" You know, and we'll air through the house looking, and we have smoke alarms and fire alarms and carbon monoxide alarms and all that. No alarms ever go off. We could smell it, but we don't see it. We can't find it. We don't know where it came from, and then it'll be gone.
Wow, so he's smelling it as well.
Yeah, and that's in the book, too. It wasn't just me. You know, when the kids got older, they started noticing stuff, too, and that's kind of when I realized it was real. It wasn't just me. I'm not crazy. You know, I'm not imagining this. It's happening. And, yeah, I don't want to spoil how I knew that the nighttime dreams weren't dreams, but that's kind of when it all became very real for me.
Are you scared again?
That's all I'm going to say.
Are you scared? Are you scared again?
Pardon me?
Are you scared again?
No, I'm not scared again. No, it doesn't scare me anymore. It pisses me off, if I can use that word. I guess I did.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you have to bleep it out or not, but
No.
I'm very angry. It makes me very angry. And I tell it so.
Well, you got quite a story.
Yeah, it's a hell of a story, and it was a heck of a life. It really was. It makes me wonder what maybe I could have become had I not been tormented all those years, because I'm not exactly a lush pushover now. You know, I have a fairly good life with, you know, a really good group of friends and family and children that are all successful. And it's like, my goodness, what could I have been? You know, if I could have used my energy for something like that instead of fighting this off.
But you don't feel your personality has changed?
I think it has, but I don't think in the way you mean. I don't think my personality has changed as far as, I think it's made me louder. It's made me stronger. It's made me more pushy. It's not coward me. I think it did at first. I was very weak and reserved and quiet because I thought I was nuts, you know, but I didn't want anybody else to know I was not. So I kind of had to live a pretend life, pretend, everything's fine, we're happy, when I wasn't. Everything wasn't fine, and I wasn't happy. But I didn't want anybody to know that, and I certainly didn't want my children to know that. And so I behaved like I was supposed to behave, not necessarily like maybe I wanted to. Where now I do. Now I'm me, and I'm strong and wise. And
have you ever seen your friend that you did the Ouija board after all these years? Have you ever been in contact with her?
No, I haven't. She moved away to Arizona. I think that she has only come back to Nebraska one time in all these years, and that was when her father passed away. She did not keep in contact with anybody back here. If she did, I don't know about it. Maybe she'll read my book, maybe she'll contact me, and maybe not. I don't know. I know she's okay. I know she's fine because I know her mother, but that's what happened to her. So if anything happened to her other than that, I do not know it. I don't know anything about it. So hopefully she'll contact me at some point and we can finally talk about it.
Yeah, that would be interesting to know if anything had happened to her as well. Why you?
Exactly.
Because why you and not her?
Well, like I said, I think it's because I am more sensitive, and I don't think I was the only one. My mother thinks my old grandma may have been too. My great grandma. She thinks maybe it kind of ran our family a little bit. And what do they call that? Just not hypersensitive, but more aware of things that your average person just don't notice.
Right.
And we do. I notice. I see. I hear. I relate. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Well, I can understand. I'm just surprised that it just hasn't shown itself to you, because they like to do that.
I know. If it did, there was something that did come on my bed one night. I called it an apparition of a different kind, because I'd never seen it even in my dreams. And I don't know if that's what it is. God, I hope not, because it was a horrible thing.
So wait a minute. So Tess, you saw an apparition at the end of your bed, and it was a horrible looking thing?
Yes, but I didn't feel like that is what had been attacking me. I think it was something different sent to scare me off of something. I don't know. But I didn't feel like it was the thing that attacked me, and it definitely was not human, or ever had been human. And I just, told it to get the F out of there and leave me alone. It did, so.
That farm that you were on, you're not there anymore. You said you moved from there. Was there any UFO activity over there?
Did I hear of any further activity over there? Is that what you asked me?
UFO activity.
Oh, UFO. No, not that I'm aware of. If there was, nobody I know ever saw anything. I certainly didn't. My kids thought they did once. One night they thought they saw a UFO, but they were little, and it was after I had moved, and they were out there for a visit with their dad. They still to this day swear they saw one, but they never, I don't think, told anybody else other than us, and they'd probably be mad at me now for saying it. But they thought they saw a UFO in the sky one night, so.
Okay, but you've never had any visitations by aliens or anything?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. Well,
God, wouldn't that be weird if it was aliens?
Hey, you know what? It could be. It could be.
You never know. I don't know what it was. I really don't to this day. I can only tell you what I think it was, what I feel it was. But until I'm dead and gone and on the other side, I won't know for sure what it was.
Wow.
So.
Interesting story. Thank you so much for sharing that. Let's show your book, and please tell people where they. Well, actually, I have Amazon.com. Are there other locations where they could buy your book?
Yes, at the publisher's website, and it's not Sunbury, it's Sunbury, B-U-R-Y. So it's sunburypress.com. Of course, at Amazon.com. And I'm pretty sure that it's in any bookstore's order catalog. So Barnes & Noble or any of the bookstores, I'm pretty sure can order it.
And you're also on Facebook as well. If anybody wants to join her Facebook page, I don't know if you accept new people. What's your Facebook page?
I do accept any, if they look legitimate, of course, I do accept friend requests. Absolutely.
Yeah, but you're not Tess, it's Terese, right?
It's Terese.
Terese.
Tess for sure, yeah.
Okay, so she's also on Facebook. Well,
yes.
I want to thank you so much. I really enjoyed hearing your story.
Well, thank you.
And my best wishes to you on the sales of your book. It's an excellent story. And I will contact you and give you that name because I'd really like you to talk to them if you would do that.
Yes, I would appreciate that. Oh, yes, I'm always open for anybody who thinks they can help me because, geez, if I wouldn't have to, be in fear and live so vigilant for the rest of my life, that'd be wonderful.
Okay.
So,
so see, it wasn't bad, was it?
No, it wasn't bad. But now it's getting dark, and it's like I want to get home before it gets dark.
Okay.
I got dog a big show. I'm tough and strong, and it's like I'm still afraid of the dark.
All right, well, don't be scared. All right, Tess.
I won't.
Thank you so much, Tess.
Thank you so much for having me, Norene. I really appreciate it. You wanted to hear my story, actually.
I did. Anything, the title and your story was wonderful. I had to have you on. Thank you so much, Tess. Good night.
Good night, hon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Wow. I enjoyed her story. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And thank you again so much for being on the show. We all loved you. Thank you. Don't forget her book. She didn't tell us everything in her book. So if you guys, I really would suggest buying her book. It sounds absolutely awesome, her story. It's really a good story. Anyway, so I hope you all will buy her book. Love you guys as always, and the support that you give me every week is just so awesome. Thanks everybody so much. And so I know Dave was in earlier, so I guess I'll say good night to everybody. Okay, good night, and I love you. Be safe. Okay, see you next week. Good night, everyone. Thank you.